welcome to Outside the Vault.
Today we're going to review The Paper, which is the new Office spinoff, just created by Greg Daniels and the team again. It's kind of a crazy comeback.
This was something that was not really on my radar
until
I started seeing advertisements about it.
It was kind of a surprise, to be honest. It's based on a Toledo newspaper company.
Yeah, Ohio.
Yeah, well, they make fun of Ohio a lot. And it stars, a whole new cast except for Oscar Nunez. He comes back to play his same character. And you guys have some questions for me about it. I've watched the whole show now.
I was going to ask, you've watched the whole show. Ben, have you watched any of it yet?
0 episodes.
But you haven't seen The Office all the way through.
I haven't seen half of season 8 and all of season 9.
Okay, then you're fine. You've seen it all.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, basically, if you've seen
But watch the
7,
final episode.
Yeah. I have only seen the first episode. So
okay.
I have an unformed opinion on it so far.
Well, what's your first question?
My first question would be, how does this compare to The Office, and should you compare it to The Office, or does that ruin it?
Don't compare it to The Office. It will ruin it because it's a completely different show. There's a lot more hope and levity, it seems, and not levity in the sense of like it's funnier, because it's not. The Office is funnier. Levity in the sense of like this is maybe a little bit more jovial than The Office, because in The Office you're kind of laughing at the hopelessness. In this, there's some hopelessness, but it's like mostly, hey, we're going to try to do the right thing, and there's good morals in general. So it's a very different show. It's maybe a little bit more like Parks and Rec than it is The Office.
That was going to be my next question.
But it's trying to take the vibe of The Office. That's the thing. It's not trying to take the vibe of Parks and Rec at all. Not at all. Parks and Rec has such a fun atmosphere to it. The Paper's not going for that, to be honest. The Paper's going for that dreary, realistic, modern office life picture, at the same time trying to have an actual storyline with it, producing a good paper from scratch. And the main character, I forget the actor's name. He plays Huxley from Star Wars. He's a pretty good actor. So, I mean, there's a lot of good...
Oh, really? That guy?
Yeah.
There's a lot of Admiral Huxley?
I believe so. You can look it up. If I'm wrong, then I'm stupid. So I could be stupid. And it's just the character dynamics are actually pretty solid. So I would say, like, overall, there might be like a better track for this. I could be wrong.
He's not showing up, but I'm not sure. That was just a quick search.
What's his name? Domhnall Gleeson?
Yeah.
He could just look like him. But either way, Domhnall Gleeson...
No, he is it. He's the lead. Yeah,
nice.
Domhnall Gleeson. And it's funny because I really like this guy in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I'll have to watch it.
And it's crazy. Like, he went from like the biggest movies ever to this,
Wait, he's Brendan Gleeson's son?
Interesting.
Like from Banshees of Inisherin.
Interesting. In Bruges?
Wow.
He's a Nepo baby.
Yeah, everyone's really a Nepo baby these days.
Yeah, he's ginger. He's like me. He just looks different than his dad. Okay, so yeah, he's a good actor. Chemistry's great. What I'll say is, like, overall, this show seems to be starting out better than Parks and Rec or The Office did. I would say overall, quality-wise, this seems better written.
So you're saying the trajectory is good?
Yeah.
If this first season is this good?
They already have fleshed out a bunch of the side characters, where in The Office, you really only have your main, 6, 7... Sorry, that was not on purpose. Characters in The Office. This is fleshed out like a solid 10, 11 characters, and they're all pretty solid characters. I will say they'll have to balance Esmeralda. She's kind of the Dwight. She's kind of the Dwight in the show. She kind of is like an evil villain somewhat in this show. Throughout the show, they do humanize her a little bit, which is nice. But overall, I don't hate her. I think a lot of people hate her, but I don't. I think they can easily balance out her character a lot better, but I think she's fine. Like, I did notice the imbalance, and I didn't like the imbalance, but I'm fine with it overall. The overall love story between Domhnall Gleeson, who plays Ned Sampson, and Chelsea Frey, who plays Mare Pretty, I think they're a great couple. I really do. Like, it's not Jim and Pam level because we've had so much history with Jim and Pam.
And they started off right away.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time he stepped in the office, they had a lunch date.
Yeah. And I won't spoil it or anything, but it does develop a lot quicker than Jim and Pam.
Because that took 4 seasons for them to get around.
And so, yeah.
Or like Conrad and Belly.
Which team are you?
I'm on team everybody in that show gets hit by a bus. I'm on team bus.
See, they're making a movie.
What?
Yeah.
Like to end it?
Yep.
That's
not to get off track.
That's smart.
I've
That's
only
smart.
watched like parts of season 4, and I feel like I really didn't need to watch.
There's
the
only
rest
3
of
seasons.
or season 3, whatever.
The second part of season 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I've watched the entire season 3, like most of it.
I
But
watched
I
season
feel
3. I
like-
watched the first 2.
I feel
Me
like
too.
I haven't really needed to watch the first 2.
I-
Honestly,
read the books.
I've been told I'm on Team Conrad, or I'm on Team Jer. I'm not on Team Conrad, but I told I'll be Switch after season 3. So we'll see. Anyway, this is kind of crazy.
Okay. Yeah. So you enjoyed it overall,
Oh yeah.
and you're not going to compare it to The Office.
You can't. It's a different show, and I'm glad it is.
do you think there's significance in the fact that they set it in Ohio while Parks and Rec is set in Indiana and The Office is set in
Midwestern.
Pennsylvania?
Midwestern, I
So
think.
it's like it connects the dots,
What's
Yeah.
funny about
but it's also
Midwestern?
Midwestern. There's sort of like a Midwestern vibe
Yeah.
to all of the shows.
What'd you say?
I said, what's specifically funny about putting these shows in the Midwestern atmosphere? 'Cause
I think it's taking such a lame environment and
Mm.
making it a little bit more spectacular just through the
What
dialogue.
do people say about the Midwest? That's a good place to live. There's good jobs here.
people are so nice.
So people,
Yeah.
yeah, they don't say, "Wow, that is such a pretty, amazing place to live."
So
or
much
the-
to do.
The weather is so great there. or
Yeah.
like,
But it is interesting because they kind of give hope to the Midwest as well, because you have your Ned Sampson, who's very excited to be in Toledo and start this paper, this newspaper, and like he's really optimistic about it, and everybody else is like, but he like garners their trust over time, and they end up being like fully on board. So you kind of have this like, oh, we're gonna defy the odds of this failing company and try to make it better.
Okay, this might be a really dumb question. When it's called the paper, is it another paper company like Dunder Mifflin?
No, it's newspaper.
It's an actual newspaper, so it's
So-
a little different.
Here's the
It's
thing.
failing.
But it's a combined company, so half the team makes toilet paper. That's where their big money comes in, and the other half is an editorial newspaper.
Interesting. Okay.
So the company shifted when the newspaper side was failing, shifted towards online newspaper. Who Esmeralda, the Dwight character,
Yeah.
runs the online part, and she's so funny, kind of directing the online part because it's all just clickbait, and she's like.
Taking people's cookies.
Yeah, she's like, we learn a lot more about the readers than they do about the article that they're reading, and that was what Mayor said. So there's a lot of good moments in that, and the toilet paper stuff is cool. There's a side character, I think his name's Derek, who's hilarious, and they just have a lot of cool side characters. Oscar has like beef with the camera people in the entire series, and he kind of softens up to them, which is cool.
So the camera people have actual like.
They don't have dialogue, but
But-
Oscar will talk directly to them, like, "No, I'm not talking to you. Get out of my face."
Like,
Get
you guys
out."
already came and
He hates
tracked me
them,
down
and he'll like
once.
curse so that they can't use the footage, but they'll just bleep it out. He'll be like, "Beep, yeah, use that footage. Use that footage."
So they give them a little bit more personality, even without them
I
still
don't-
not.
no,
I feel like
because
sometimes-
seasons 8 and 9, because you haven't seen it all. Oscar has a lot of personality in that.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the camera.
Oh, the camera, yeah. I mean,
Because a
but
lot of times in The Office, it feels like.
no, seasons 8 and 9, the camera guy has a storyline.
Oh, okay.
and they talk. And
Yeah, he's actually in the show because he protects Pam from someone.
Interesting.
So, anyway, I think all that to say, it's a pretty good show. It's like a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. The Office is 5 stars just because of the legendary nature of it. I could see this getting to really high heights. It's just hard because it's gonna have to get to high heights in a whole different way that The Office did.
Right.
Because The Office will never be beat in what it is, because what it was is so specific to Steve Carell, to Rainn Wilson, Jenna Fisher, John Krasinski. Like there will never be anything like that again. If they can not recreate, but create something completely different that aspires to new heights in a different way without trying to recapitulate The Office, I'm down for that, because I'll watch season 2. It was fine.
That's the thing about spin-off shows, is they're kind of dangerous because they give room for the fan base to have a little bit more, which is always nice. But if you have to reorient your audience, so I think Trust was wearing a Better Call Saul related sweatshirt, and it reminds me of how if you were like, this show has to be Breaking Bad, you wouldn't like it. But it's like a brilliant show on the same level as Breaking Bad, but it's different.
Yes.
Despite having some similarities and some crossovers.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be Breaking Bad.
But it's not trying to be Breaking Bad.
And
It's
they
trying
had to be
its own
very
thing.
clear with their direction.
Yeah.
They had to make the audience understand the direction so clearly. It's a legal-based drama about a character, right? These are Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad are character-driven shows, and it's about his journey of it in the similar way to Breaking Bad, turning bad, right?
Right.
But also it's so different because Breaking Bad honestly has more action. It has more what people would consider, more cinematic quality maybe. But Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, what it does well, and I'll relate this to the paper, is that it defines in the same universe, using the same rules, a whole different clear vision from a different perspective. I think the paper does that here. I think it does it well. There are some faults I could think of. I talked about the imbalance with Esmeralda. I think there are some side characters who don't have like established roles yet within the show. They're still figuring that out, but I think with any ensemble cast, you have to figure it out. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Parks and Rec, they're all figuring it out. Like the Mark Brandanowitz character, they just took him out of the show because he didn't have a place. So I think there's a lot of moving that needs to happen. But I trust Greg Daniels. I think he hasn't made anything terrible yet.
And as you mentioned before, you happened to say season 2. It has already been renewed for season 2.
Great.
You think that's a good thing?
Yeah.
Good sign?
Yep, I'm happy. I think if you, it's kind of like Severance, where if you put 3 years in between every season, people are going to become disinterested. Severance didn't win any Emmys. Listen to our movie news number 3 or 4 or whatever we're on. Sorry, I can't remember. We might be on 4. 3.
Okay.
3 maybe. And this, if they do it yearly, I think can garner some attraction.
Okay.
And some engagement.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say on the paper. Check it out. It's only 10 episodes.
How do you feel about that? 10 episodes instead of, I know it's a pilot season.
Yeah.
But do you think the next ones will be more like the
20? I think they'll have more.
Good.
I think they'll have
Good.
more. So yeah, I think my hope, the one thing I could see failing is if it gets too hung up on the storyline, because The Office and Parks and Rec don't necessarily have overarching storylines, They could get hung up on the storyline, so when the storyline comes to a conclusion and then they have to redefine what the show's about, that could be problematic. Or they could, extend the storyline over many seasons and it gets boring, So just the different nature of this could be a problem. They might be setting themselves up for failure, but we'll see. So that's all I have to say about the paper. So be sure to check it out and listen to listen to every episode we've ever made and every YouTube thing we've ever made. Last Resort Network on YouTube. Yep. And the Movie Vault podcast. Thanks for listening.